It's Madden NFL 23. And up next is Demario Davis, who really led his defense last week with a 10-tackle game. It's the Saints and the Bucs, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us in downtown New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by a 3-time Pro Bowler, owner of over 35,000 passing yards in 11 seasons, the veteran Andy Dalton.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So for Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 22 carries, 87 yards.
And we all know he had a big workload last week, so I'm eager to see if they decide to back him off a little bit. Personally, I hand it to him 20-plus times again. When a running back's locked in like he is, I want him to keep touching the football.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. The Saints had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine. And
he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Dalton here from the gun. He completes it to Olave. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Dalton. Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
On 2nd and goal. Dalton got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon. Building confidence after a loss. That's a good way to do it. The loss last game. First drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. And he'll just take a seat in the drive when we get at the 25-yard line. Well, for a little bit, we thought his story had concluded, but not to be. Here's Tom Brady in his 23rd NFL season, leading the Bucs offense out once again.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
The LSU man, Leonard Fournette, born right here in New Orleans. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Fournette. He takes this for 3 to the 29. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's Buccaneer football, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. To throw is Brady. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this will be blown dead right around the 25-yard line. So here are the Saints to take over. They lead things here as they start 1st and 10, trying to get rid of that bad taste in their mouth from the loss last week to the Atlanta Falcons. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. To the 43, 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. Passing, it's Dalton. For the catch made by Johnson. And they're going to get this up to midfield. And quickly they get to the line. From midfield here, Dalton. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, New Orleans. Landry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here early going.
Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. That time 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's Jarvis Landry who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Week 2 underway around the NFL. And a reminder that later tonight it will be Chicago and Green Bay in the Packers home opener. The 101st season of that great rivalry. They had the 100th anniversary last year. And then tomorrow night a treat. A Monday night doubleheader. Tennessee looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. So Dalton now. Olave over the middle. And he gets gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Here's Dalton. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. Andy Dalton with his third touchdown pass of the game. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback. And they'll begin at the 25. Well, the Bucs going to take over now late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's hit. He lost the football. Put it on the carpet. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Buccaneers are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. That throw by Brady incomplete. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. On the draw, here's White. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And a catch right side by Evans. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On first down, Brady. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. Brady will try again on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Bucs and Saints expected to possibly be the 2 to slug it out for the NFC South title in 2022. The Saints have had the Bucs number pretty much since the arrival of Tom Brady, at least in the regular season. They're 4-0 against Tampa Bay the last 2 seasons in the regular season. But remember, when Tampa won the Super Bowl, they did defeat New Orleans en route to that title. Succop's kick is good, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal. And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach turned his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So erase the flag. They decline it. And did they use the big eraser, or was that the one at the end of the number 2 pencil? Well, I was thinking. Sorry, Coach. Put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Bucs ready to go here to begin the third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A three-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no three-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
3 more points tacked on, and this margin getting more comfortable by the minute.
And with the lead where it is, you can actually feel good about field goals. We talk all the time about scoring 6s, not 3s. But in this case, they're just looking to chew up some time and come away with points.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Brady now on first down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 49-yard line. Brady's throw here into the hands of Jones. He'll get it inside the 20, and he's going to be out of bounds all the way down at the 2. So close. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 47 yards. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ben Mason. His first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are finally into the end zone here this fourth quarter. Extra point up and good by Succa. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. Fourth down now, but he was fortunate on that one. Not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
As the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above.
After reviewing the play, ruling on the field has been ruled.
So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned.
To throw again on second down, Brady. He completes this to Russell Gage. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 26. Again, they'll throw with Brady. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try to get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Throwing is Brady on third down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's third and goal. Clock running. The Bucs trying to go quickly and get set. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. The risk-reward of the onside kick, when you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now that they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they'll get him down after a
pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On the counter, here's Kamara, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The Bucs forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
They run it again with Kamara.
69 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. So a big one coming down for Will Lutz. This to perhaps salt this one away. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
A lot more was on the line in this one than just defending your home field, CD. They defend their home field against a division rival and get the victory, so this one feels a little extra special.
It has to, right? There's always just a little more emphasis on games like this. Everyone talks about playing each game the exact same way, but you and I both know that is not true. Division rivals, you want to take care of business not just at home, but against a team that you really don't like very much too.
So for the Saints, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers.
The players on your team earned XP. Quickly upgrade your team at the end of each game.